Just wrapped up the third stop for the Champions Tour on Lake Homme Dieu. We're going to do a quick bait review here. Ended up 6th place. Basically had a 3-pronged approach. Buckeye balling out 2 jig here. Dobbins Ecstasy 755. That was offshore, docks, shallow cover. Basically good all around for everything. Number 2 was Yamamoto Sensei worm. Dipped a little chartreuse on the tail there, Nico rig. Dobbins Ecstasy 722. Bottom contact baits, I'm going to use a high quality rod. That's kind of the theme here if you haven't noticed. And then following it up with the new Northland Tungsten Nedster. Don't tell anybody from Northland yet, but I stole one the other day from them. Just released that iCast. Yeah, kind of a 3-pronged approach. Jig, Nico, Ned, from 12 inches of water to 30 foot of water.
We just wrapped up the final stop of the main season Champions Tour here on the Homme Dieu. I finished in 5th place and I did all my damage on, I had 2 Dobbins 703 Champion Extremes and I had 1 paired up just with a standard drop shot. I was throwing a 6-inch Robo Worm and Margarita Mutilator. This is my go-to. I've won too much money to count on this worm. But you know, they stop biting that after you catch a pile of them. So then I switched up to the new Tungsten Ned rig from Northland Tackle. I was throwing the 3/16 size and I was pairing that up with the Yamamoto Slenko. Same setup, Dobbins 703. These 2 combos did all my damage today. Check them out.
Hey guys, Zach Piescher here. Just finished up on La Homme Dieu for our 3rd stop of Champs Tour. I ended up in 4th place after a day of chasing around a whole lot of fish. Trolling was on 10 all day. For me, it was drop shot, drop shot, drop shot. The main one for me, I was power shotting. This is the slug from Supreme Lure Co. That got most of my bites today. My whole big thing behind it was be able to flip in there real quick. They'd eat it right away. If not, you know, you can reel it up real quick with like your 8-speed gear ratio reel. You know, flip back in a new spot real quick. And you know, boat flipping those 2-pounders was really nice too. So that was the majority of what I used. Other than that, I used a little slug to do some cleanup, the ones that didn't want the big slug. And then for the smallmouth, I did a little bit of that this morning. Kind of worked for me. Just any little small finessey worm was kind of working. It was far and few between on the smallies, but made a few of them chomp.
Well, we just got done with the 3rd stop of the Classic Bass Champions Tour on the Homme Dieu. This is a rough slough, and this morning I got to catch him doing something real fun with big ass jig. Flipped that around all morning, got the school fired up, and then once they were unfired up, I had to just throw a little drop shot around and drag it over the clumps, and yeah, that about sums up my day.
Evan Blakley here, just wrapped up La Homme Dieu. I love this place. I've had a really good history out here. Morning was tough. I made some bad decisions. Left some fish I should have stayed on. Didn't, just kind of fell apart on me. But did catch a few nice ones. Kind of kept me in the, in the mid-20s. I believe I was 25th going into the halftime. So went back out. Good boat draw, pretty much my pick of spots, and I'm running, and there was 2 patches of grass that I thought I could for sure do very well and could probably win off of. So, in a gut-wrenching decision, ran across a community spot that I knew I could pull up and crack them on, but they're going to be smaller, and I ran across into one of the smaller lakes, and a couple of guys I followed in there, and they're just nobody followed us then. So we kind of had it all to ourselves, and then it was slow at first, and then it really went down. So I was kind of cycling through just a handful of baits. So in the morning, this thing saved my butt. Just a power shot, half-ounce weight, 6-inch worm, just shaking that around clumps, letting it sit and soak, and they were just swimming off with it. It was good. I caught a lot of fish on that, was able to really muscle them out of that grass. Did catch a few scoping around with a worm, just a little Nico rig. And then the afternoon, it was probably shouldn't tell you guys this, but it was all about the Nico. Started with the skinny worm, picked up the fat worm, and it went down. They were all about it. Super, super slow, grimy. We're catching them good enough, and we're climbing up the leaderboard, and we made a run at it, got a bite window going, casting at the same patch of weeds again and again and again, and all of a sudden they finally went. And we almost won the darn thing, and it was all on a spinning pole. Not my favorite thing in the world, but hey, love catching bass. So,
all right, end of the tournament, and we ended up getting the dub. Throwing this right here did most of the damage in the morning. It is a Northland tackle Smeltinator 1/8 of an ounce with a 5-inch Z-Man center jerk shed on there. And this morning, right away, it was crazy. Found some suspended fish that were just roaming the basin. And there's schools of 20 of them. There's probably thousands of fish there. And we did a lot of damage. Then sun came out, so we ran, started catching smallmouth on basically the same thing, a little bit smaller. I don't have one rigged up right now, but cruising flats, catching them on live scope. And then in the afternoon, it was tough, but we did most of the damage on this right here, a little jig worm. We got the Northland Dactyl Nedster on there, and a Z-Man Big Turd. But we didn't catch too many the second half, but we grinded it out, and that was the key bait there. So happy to get the win out here on the Homme Dieu.